Ever since I was born, Daddy has been the best father you could ever imagine.
Paris Jackson, the daughter of the legendary pop icon Michael Jackson, has led a life filled with both remarkable highs and devastating lows. Despite her famous lineage and a life lived in the public eye, Paris has faced numerous personal challenges and tragedies. From her tumultuous education and the profound impact of her father's death to her ongoing battles with mental health and self-acceptance. Please stay calm to listen to the story of Paris Jackson's sad life. The first unfortunate thing about Paris Jackson that we need to know is that she has been estranged from her mother for many years. Debbie Rowe, Michael Jackson's ex-wife, is the biological mother of Paris and her older brother, Prince. Despite this biological connection, Rowe chose to maintain minimal contact with her children for nearly a decade. The estrangement between Rowe and her children began after her divorce from Michael Jackson in 2000. During the legal proceedings, Rowe agreed to give up custody of her children. This decision was formalized in a separate court hearing in 2001, where she relinquished her parental rights. During this hearing, Rowe expressed her sentiments candidly to the court. As reported by the Los Angeles Times, Rowe stated unequivocally, "They're his kids. They're his kids. They are not my kids." She elaborated on her feelings, saying, "I did it for Michael Jackson to become a father, not for me to become a mother. You earn the title of parent. I have done absolutely nothing to earn that title." This sentiment reflected Rowe's view of her role in her children's lives. Her decision was not born out of a lack of love for her children, but rather a recognition of her own perceived lack of parental contribution. Her choice to step away from the parental role was also influenced by her complex relationship with Michael Jackson and the unique circumstances surrounding their marriage and divorce. Rowe's absence in Paris and Prince's lives was a significant part of their upbringing. For Paris, the impact of this separation was profound, and the void left by her mother's absence was a notable aspect of her childhood. It wasn't until after Michael Jackson's death in 2009 that Paris actively sought to connect with her mother. At the age of 13, she first reached out to Rowe, hoping to bridge the gap that had persisted for most of her life. Interestingly, in the immediate aftermath of Michael Jackson's death, there were reports suggesting that Rowe was contemplating seeking custody of her children. However, according to Extra, alleged emails from Rowe in the weeks following Jackson's passing indicated that her desire to reclaim custody was not motivated by a genuine wish to be a mother. Instead, she was concerned about her public image and did not want to be perceived as a mother who had abandoned her children and forgotten about them. Rowe's internal conflict and her fluctuating intentions about re-engaging in her children's lives reflect the complexities of her situation. Despite initial reluctance and public statements to the contrary, Rowe and her children did eventually reconnect. The public reconciliation between Paris and Debbie Rowe occurred in 2013. This was a significant moment for Paris, as it marked the beginning of a new chapter in their relationship, shaped by the years of separation and the healing process that followed. However, the circumstances of their reconnection were far from ideal. Debbie Rowe, who had been notably absent from Paris's life for much of her childhood, had been diagnosed with breast cancer. The diagnosis and the impending surgery prompted Paris to reach out to her mother. According to TMZ, Paris took the first step in mending their fractured relationship by sending a heartfelt text message that simply read, "I love you." This digital olive branch was a crucial gesture that reopened the lines of communication between them. Paris's initiative to reconnect was driven by the fear of losing another parent. Her father, Michael Jackson, had passed away in 2009, and the thought of potentially losing her mother to cancer was understandably distressing. The emotional gravity of the situation led Paris to be by Rowe's side throughout her treatment, signifying a renewed bond and commitment to supporting her mother. As Debbie Rowe underwent treatment, including chemotherapy, Paris was a constant presence. She documented her support and love through social media, sharing a poignant photo on Instagram. The image showed Paris kissing Rose's head, and the accompanying caption read, "I'm a fighter because she's a fighter. Love you, Mom." This public display of affection and solidarity highlighted the depth of Paris's feelings and her determination to be there for her mother during a critical time. Rose's chemotherapy treatments were completed in early 2017. During this period, Rose expressed immense gratitude for Paris's support. In an interview with Entertainment Tonight, Rose referred to her daughter as her rock, acknowledging the significance of her presence throughout the ordeal. Rose recounted how quickly Paris reached out after learning about her diagnosis, noting, "It took her 30 seconds to reach out when she found out." This swift and supportive response from Paris was a testament to her dedication and the strength of their reconnected relationship. Rose also reflected on the emotional impact of Paris's support, describing how deeply moved she was by her daughter's gesture of kissing her bald head during treatment. Rose's words, "For her to kiss my bald head, her love is pretty unconditional," conveyed the profound emotional bond and the unconditional nature of Paris's love. The act symbolized not just support, but also a deep, genuine reconnection between mother and daughter. Maybe you have heard this somewhere. Paris Jackson faced immense tragedy at a tender age when she was just 11 years old. Her father, Michael Jackson, the iconic pop superstar known globally as the King of Pop, passed away under heartbreaking circumstances. The sudden and unexpected death of Michael Jackson on June 25, 2009, sent shockwaves through the world and left his family grappling with profound grief. Michael Jackson had been preparing for a highly anticipated comeback tour titled "This Is It," which was meant to be his grand return to the stage after a hiatus. The tour was set to showcase Jackson's remarkable talent and was eagerly awaited by fans worldwide. However, his plans were abruptly cut short due to his untimely death. The official cause of Michael Jackson's death was an overdose of propofol, a powerful anesthetic that he had been using to combat chronic insomnia. The use of this drug, which is typically employed in surgical settings and not meant for long-term insomnia treatment, led to fatal consequences. According to CNN, the circumstances surrounding Michael Jackson's death were intensely scrutinized, leading to a criminal investigation. The Los Angeles Times reported that his death was officially ruled a homicide. Dr. Conrad Murray, who had been administering propofol to Jackson nightly over a period of about 2 months, was ultimately found guilty of involuntary manslaughter. The verdict was a significant moment in the case, highlighting the medical and legal ramifications of Jackson's death. In addition to the legal proceedings, the Jackson family also pursued a wrongful death lawsuit against AEG Live, the concert promoters behind Michael's "This Is It" tour. The family alleged that AEG Live was responsible for the conditions that led to Jackson's death. Despite their efforts, the lawsuit did not succeed, with the court ruling in favor of AEG Live. The jury accepted the argument that Michael Jackson himself was largely at fault for his demise due to his use of the drug. This outcome was a bitter blow to the family, who felt that the promoters bore some responsibility for their role in Jackson's professional and personal life. Paris Jackson, who had a particularly close and unique bond with her father, struggled deeply with his loss. In a candid interview with Rolling Stone, she expressed her ongoing pain and the difficulty of reconciling with her father's death. Paris described the process of coping with such a profound loss, noting that the commonly held belief that time heals all wounds did not resonate with her experience. Instead, she found that time did not erase the pain, but rather helped her adapt to it. She remarked, "I live life with the mentality of, okay, I lost the only thing that has ever been important to me. So going forward, anything bad that happens can't be nearly as bad as what happened before. So I can handle it." Paris's reflections on her father's death reveal the depth of her grief and the personal resilience she has developed in the face of overwhelming loss. Her relationship with Michael Jackson, was not just that of a daughter to a father, but also included an emotional and supportive bond that was central to her life. His passing left a void that, despite time, remains a significant part of her existence. Michael Jackson's memorial service, held on July 7, 2009, was an event of unparalleled emotional and public significance. The service, which took place at the Staples Center in Los Angeles, was broadcast live to millions around the world and was even shown on a giant screen in Times Square, underscoring the global impact of Jackson's death. The ceremony was a tribute to the King of Pop, reflecting the enormity of his legacy and the deep sorrow felt by fans and family alike. Amidst the sea of mourners, one moment stood out as particularly heart-wrenching and poignant: the unexpected speech by Michael Jackson's young daughter, Paris Jackson. At just 11 years old, Paris took to the microphone, her presence a testament to her bravery and her profound connection with her father. The moment was unscripted and unplanned, amplifying its raw emotional impact. As Paris approached the microphone, she was visibly struggling to hold back tears. The weight of the occasion and the enormity of her grief were palpable. She addressed the audience with a sincerity that resonated deeply with everyone present. In a trembling voice, she said, "I just wanted to say, ever since I was born, Daddy has been the best father you could ever imagine. And I just wanted to say I love him so much." Her words, simple yet profoundly heartfelt, conveyed the depth of her love and the personal loss she was experiencing. This public appearance was highly significant, as Paris had been largely shielded from the public eye by her father, who made concerted efforts to protect her from the relentless scrutiny of paparazzi. This speech marked a rare and intimate glimpse into her world, revealing her emotional vulnerability and her cherished bond with Michael Jackson. Following her brief but powerful statement, Paris was quickly embraced by her aunt, Janet Jackson, who provided her with comfort and support in that emotionally charged moment. The crowd, consisting of around 21,000 attendees, was visibly moved, with many weeping openly in response to the young girl's touching tribute. The collective grief of the audience was a testament to the profound impact Michael Jackson had on the lives of those around him. The emotional intensity of Paris's speech was not lost on those behind the scenes. AEG Live CEO Randy Phillips, who was responsible for managing the event, revealed to Time magazine that he was overwhelmed by the moment. He described his reaction, saying that when Paris spoke, he lost it and almost short-circuited his walkie-talkie, crying into it. This candid admission underscored the powerful effect Paris's words had on everyone involved in the memorial service. Kenny Ortega, Michael Jackson's longtime collaborator and director of the This Is It tour, also spoke to the emotional significance of Paris's speech. Ortega described Paris as his #1 fan and emphasized the depth of her love for her father. He noted, "I've never seen a girl love her daddy as much as Paris loved Michael." Ortega's comments highlighted the genuine, heartfelt nature of Paris's tribute and her profound connection with her father. Continuing this series of tragedies, Paris Jackson tragically lost friends to a drug overdose. In 2018, Paris Jackson found herself in the midst of a storm of troubling tabloid rumors and invasive speculation. During this period, she was subjected to relentless scrutiny from the media, with reports portraying her as a troubled individual on the brink of a breakdown. Among the most damaging was a Radar Online article with the sensational headline, "Jackson Family Terrified, Rail-Thin Paris Will Die from Drugs Like Late Dad Michael," which suggested that Paris was heading down a dangerous path similar to her father's tragic end. The Radar Online report was particularly cruel, insinuating that Paris's lifestyle and appearance were signs of imminent disaster. The article's alarming tone and unfounded claims that "it seems like no one can save her" contributed to a narrative that was both distressing and inaccurate. The sensationalism of such reports only added to the stress and emotional burden Paris was facing. Paris Jackson, understandably upset by the unfounded accusations and misrepresentation, took to Twitter to address the rumors directly. She vehemently denied the tabloid claims, stating that she had never once given the impression that I'm someone who likes to party, and criticizing the credibility of Radar Online, declaring, "I've never read an article from Radar about myself that's actually true." Her public response was a clear attempt to counter the false narrative being perpetuated and to assert her truth against the backdrop of invasive speculation. The timing of the rumors coincided with the publicized overdose of Demi Lovato in July 2018, which led to further speculation about Paris Jackson's own health. CNN reported that some media outlets claimed Lovato's overdose prompted Jackson to check into rehab. However, this was not an accurate reflection of her situation. Paris had already been working on her health and making positive lifestyle choices long before these events. Her decision to address her well-being was influenced by her own past experiences and a commitment to living a healthier life. In a poignant Instagram story captured by CNN, Paris Jackson expressed her perspective on maintaining health. She emphasized that her motivation for staying healthy was rooted in personal experience rather than external incidents. She stated, "Someone doesn't have to almost die for me to know to be healthy. I've already had friends OD and die. That's enough for me." This statement highlighted the depth of her past experiences with loss and the significant impact they had on her approach to health and wellness. Radar Online characterized Paris Jackson's situation as a rocky road of self-destruction. The tabloid claimed that Jackson's treatment was primarily focused on addressing alcohol abuse and mental health concerns. The portrayal in the media was dramatic, emphasizing a narrative of decline and crisis that reflected poorly on Jackson's personal struggles. Entertainment Tonight offered a less sensationalized account, providing a different perspective on the situation. According to their report, a source indicated that Paris Jackson had taken a proactive approach to her health. The source described her decision to check into a treatment facility as a deliberate choice to reboot, realign, and prioritize her physical and emotional health. This narrative suggested that Jackson's time in treatment was part of a structured wellness plan aimed at improving her overall well-being rather than a response to a publicized crisis. Despite the differing accounts from various media outlets, Paris Jackson chose not to publicly confirm or deny whether she had entered rehab. This decision was in line with her preference for maintaining privacy regarding her health matters. However, Radar Online reported finding evidence that supported the claims of her recovery. Paparazzi captured a photograph of Paris walking her dog, which included a noteworthy detail: a 30-day sobriety chip from Narcotics Anonymous clipped to her keychain. This image, which surfaced in February 2019, seemed to align with the timeline of the rehab rumors. The presence of the sobriety chip suggested that Paris was indeed engaged in a recovery process, but it also underscored the importance of respecting her privacy. The public nature of the photograph highlighted the fine line between media coverage and invasion of personal space. Paris Jackson, like anyone dealing with health issues, deserved the space to manage her recovery without undue scrutiny or speculation. In 2020, Paris Jackson embarked on a European tour with her band Sunflowers, a musical project she shared with her then-boyfriend Gabriel Glenn. The tour was a significant milestone for Paris, marking a major step in her musical career and personal journey. However, the tour was not without its challenges. According to Radar Online, Paris Jackson faced difficulties during the tour, including a reported mystery illness that led her to miss one of the shows. The publication suggested that Jackson was heading for a meltdown, attributing her absence to issues related to prescription pills. A source quoted by Radar Online claimed that Paris experienced panic attacks and took medication to manage these symptoms. The source also implied that Jackson's health struggles were compounded by problematic medication use, noting that she sometimes mixed her pills, which they described as very unhealthy. This portrayal was sensationalized and lacked nuance. The implications that prescription medication was the sole cause of her difficulties and that she was heading for a breakdown were exaggerated. In reality, psychiatric medication is a common part of mental health treatment. According to Scientific American, about 1 in 6 Americans takes a psychiatric drug, making such medication a routine aspect of many people's lives. Paris Jackson had previously addressed her approach to mental health, revealing in an episode of her series Unfiltered that she had used antidepressants and mood stabilizers in the past. She described these medications as having a numbing effect on both negative and positive emotions, which led her to stop using them. Instead, she opted to deal with her mental health challenges through other means. Despite the media's focus on her health and medication, Paris Jackson's professional and personal life continued to evolve. Gabriel Glenn, who was not only her partner but also her bandmate, reportedly adjusted his lifestyle to support her during the tour. According to Radar Online, Glenn scaled back the wild times to help Paris stay on track. This adjustment reflected his commitment to her well-being and the dynamics of their relationship during this period. However, despite their efforts to navigate these challenges together, Paris Jackson and Gabriel Glenn's relationship eventually came to an end. In August 2020, TMZ reported that the couple had broken up, describing the split as amicable. This term suggested that while their romantic relationship had ended, they maintained a respectful and cordial separation. Paris Jackson's life has been a series of intense challenges and personal struggles, largely shaped by her high-profile status as Michael Jackson's daughter. In an episode of her Facebook Watch series Unfiltered, Paris opened up about how her past trauma has profoundly impacted her creative process and career. She revealed that her experiences, including the death of her father and other personal hardships, are significant drivers behind her artistic expression. Paris shared that if she doesn't channel these experiences into her music, she fears they might overwhelm her and take control of her life. Her creative work is a means of processing and coping with her trauma. By integrating her personal struggles into her art, she not only finds a way to manage her emotions, but also connects with others who may face similar challenges. This therapeutic approach to music and performance underscores how Paris has transformed her pain into a powerful tool for expression and connection. Despite her apparent strength and resilience, evidenced by her heartfelt speech at her father's memorial service, Paris Jackson remains deeply human and continues to grapple with self-acceptance. In another episode of Unfiltered, she candidly discussed her ongoing struggle with self-acceptance and self-love. Paris acknowledged that achieving self-acceptance is a continuous journey and not a destination. She described it as a work in progress, emphasizing that even though she is actively working on it, the process is often challenging. Paris expressed a desire to use her platform to influence others positively by promoting self-acceptance and courage. She wants to inspire people to be comfortable in their own skin and to embrace their true selves. Her commitment to these ideals is reflected in her efforts to publicly discuss her own struggles and growth. She recognized that the path to self-love is difficult and involves baby steps, illustrating her understanding that personal development is gradual and requires patience. What do you think about the tragedies that happened in Paris Jackson's life? Leave us your comments in the section below. We hope you have found this helpful video. Don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you like it. Thank you for watching this and see you in the next videos. Goodbye.